Gather round, Bad Witches. My name is Jade, and welcome to my Bad Witch Emporium. Today we're going to be talking about something fun, which is love and obsession spells. Now, there was an interesting debate that sparked on my TikTok page, and I wanted to talk more about it. And I basically made a video about by the time our love and obsession spells hit, we're not even interested in the target anymore. And a lot of people were asking questions as to why this was or how to avoid it. And I wanted to dive deeper into it. So, in general, results are always going to vary, okay? And it varies based off of a few things. It's going to be your energy as a practitioner while you're casting it, after you casted it, and also the target, how receptive they are of the energy, and how they are as a person, okay? And we're going to dive deep on, how we can navigate these things properly so we can get the results that we want, okay? When we want them, especially. So the reason why this happens when we no longer are interested in the person, when this does happen, is when we cast the spell, and even after we cast the spell, we are hyper fixated on the outcome. And this can, in many ways, delay our results significantly. And the reason why is you're basically not allowing your spell work to do its job, okay? The analogy I can give you is, think of going to an ATM machine, right? We put our debit card in and we hit withdrawal, right? We're trying to get some cash out. We're trying to get that result. And so when we hit the withdrawal button, we just simply wait for the machine to spit the money out, right? Now, let's say we were so fixated on getting that money from that machine, we just kept hitting withdrawal. And what this does to the machine, it overloads it, right? It probably will send an error message saying, hey, I can't even do this anymore because you keep pressing the freaking button and I can't do my job. So when we are energetically hyperfixating on the outcome of a spell, it's like we're spamming that button over and over and over again. And the spell's like, whoa, I can't even do my job. I can't spit the money out or give this, obsessive person to you because you're just so obsessed with the end result. You're not giving me room to do my job. So how do we avoid this? We set and forget. A lot of practitioners emphasize this, but why? Why is this such a magical thing to do by forgetting about a spell? You are allowing the energy to do its magic, right? You put a request into the universe, into the ATM machine, as I said before, and we just let the magic happen. Now, obviously, if there's mundane steps to take, we take those, right? In this case, if we're obsessed over a person wanting to be obsessed with us, wanting to like us, wanting to love us, and, why aren't they texting me, and why don't they like me, and I just want them to be with me, and you are not letting this spell even reach this person energetically because you're just clinging onto it. So, we cast the spell, little love spell or obsession spell, and we go about our day. I said it, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to, get my nails done and do the things that I want to do. Keep my day going, right? And then, let's say a few days later, week later, then the spell hits. Maybe it's a month, if they're really stubborn. And you'll be like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, that's right. I did cast on this person and that's okay. That explains it. And naturally, they are able, when you are focusing just on doing what you're doing by setting and forgetting, you are energetically opening up, being receptive to the outcome. Okay. Another reason why hyperfixating hinders our results, it delays our results, is also because you're putting a little bit of doubt in your spell work. And, this is not fear mongering or anything. You can experience any sort of emotion, right? Because we're human, like that's what we do. We experience all sorts of emotions and sometimes at the same time. And, we're just very complex human beings. But at the end of the day, no matter what you're feeling, you just need to be certain about the outcome. When you are certain this outcome is going to happen, that's when it happens. When you bring in doubt, when you're questioning it, well, why isn't he texting me, or why aren't they doing this, or why isn't my outcome, here, you're questioning your spell and your own craft. And the spell's like, damn, like, don't you trust me as a candle to just do my little job? You burned me. Can I just do my job? That's what I do. I just get burned and then I, send that energy. That's all I'm trying to do. But you're doubting me sending the energy. You're doubting your candle. You're doubting your abilities as a practitioner when you are questioning the outcome. So again, the best thing to do is to set and forget, or just trust the process, intuitively. You can tap into that. Even if you're a little worried about the situation, be like, okay, I know it's going to happen. I know it's coming. It's on the way. I'm going to sit tight and I'm going to let it happen. And it happens. But when we are putting our little candle spell work, whatever, it doesn't have to be candle. I'm just giving you an example, but we're putting our spell in a chokehold when we're like, where is it? Where is it? I need it now. Please give it to me now. And I see this a lot as a practitioner who does work for people. Results are always going to vary from client to client, because each client is going to, act however they're going to act. So if a person trusts the process that, hey, I did this energetic work for you, this is your aftercare instructions, just sit back, wait for it to happen. They do that, right? And it comes. But if they sit there and they're like, oh my gosh, like what if this doesn't work? And I don't know if this is going to hit. And it's like you're confusing the energies that I cast for you, Again, don't delay those energies. Just sit back, relax, enjoy the ride of the magic riding carpet, like I'm Aladdin here. I'm taking you on a ride. You just got to trust that we're not going to fall out of the sky. We're going to see the world. So that's the side of, casting, right? The receiving end is a whole other thing too, right? The target. This is why practitioners will emphasize doing your research on a person before casting on them. And specifically for obsession spells, love spells, we want to know the nature of this person, right? If they are already obsessive, possessive, jealous, if they have a history of, doing some not good things, it could be even like stalking or, some other potentially harmful activities. If we're casting an obsession spell on a person who already has obsessive tendencies, it's going to amplify who they are. Okay? So that's why people say, hey, do your research. You can cast on whoever you want to, as long as you know who you're casting on. What are their tendencies? You can use that to your advantage. You don't need to put an obsession spell on an obsessive person, because they're going to show up at your doorstep unwanted. And then you're going to end up having to undo the spell and bind them to themselves. And that's a whole other thing, right? By the time, that happens, we have to be receptive of the energy, right? But know who we're casting on. So when we are casting these love obsession spells, we want to make sure we know this person well enough energetically to fine tune what the outcome will be. Okay. So, maybe he's an obsessive person or they're an obsessive person. We don't need to put herbs into this spell that's going to further amplify that, right? We don't want them busting down our doorstep. We just want them to feel loving energies towards us, for example. So, I hope this brings some clarity to y'all. There's so much more we could dive into as far as just, spell work and casting, but this is such a fun debate to talk about. Let me know if y'all have any questions. We can go further into these things, but blessed be. Okay, have a wonderful day. Mwah.